is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Tonight on Live at 4, transportation turmoil, why agencies across the state are facing cuts, and what we could see right here in McDonough County. That's ahead.
And high-tech voting. Early voting is well underway, and November 8th is quickly approaching. We'll tell you what methods are available to cast your ballot for Election Day.
Pumpkins, ghosts, and ghouls galore. Halloween weekend is here, and you're going to want to hear this. We have events bringing spooky fun to the community.
Show them how it works. Typically, they love it.
The following is a production of the
Show them how it works.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
We have new information from the story we brought you on Tuesday. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4.
Macomb police say they arrested the person who was stabbed early Saturday morning. The stabbing victim was also arrested for an alleged attack on a paramedic while receiving treatment at McDonough District Hospital. Now, we know the name of the woman who police say admitted to stabbing him. Macomb police arrested 18-year-old Kendra Taylor. They say she stabbed Brian McHugh in the back while they were at a party. Police say Taylor was complained and admitted to stabbing him. Taylor is a WIU student in forensic chemistry program. Over the past 15 months, we've seen Illinois budget crisis affect social services, higher education, and nonprofit organizations across the state.
Now it's affecting public transportation right here in McDonough County. News 3's Megan Sanchez joins us in the newsroom to tell us more. Megan?
Hi, Emily and Danny. Public transportation like the Go West buses and the demand response vans get people where they need to go in McDonough County every day for absolutely free. Over 3,500 rides are given each day to be exact, but this service is in danger of being cut due to lack of state funding. These purple and yellow vehicles are responsible for getting hundreds of McDonough County residents where they need to go each day.
A lot of elderly rely on it to get to health care, shopping, disabled clients to go in and for rehab.
But the free rides are in danger of being cut by more than 50% due to lack of state funding. The months of October and November bring in very little revenue for the state of Illinois, leaving Comptroller Leslie Munger with little funding to work with.
A lot of people are trying to blame us for this, but we have no role, really. I mean, we make the payments when we have the funds, and we make the payments when we have the vouchers.
Cobb met with Mayor Mike Inman and the Macomb City Council Transit Committee Wednesday to discuss contingency options. Inman says right now the city is not in a financial situation to provide much assistance.
The city is not got the budget funds to make that partnership whole at the end of the day, and some other means by which for this to continue to operate needs to be looked at.
Cobb says the Transit Department is hoping to receive a $280,000 federal reimbursement by mid-November to help them continue to operate. But without that money,
there's a possibility that we're going to have to look at implementing some reduction of service in the county and in Macomb. So that will affect a lot of people if we have to do that.
Now, no decisions were made at that meeting on Wednesday. Their plan is to wait about 30 to 45 days, monitor the situation, and see if that federal reimbursement comes in before they decide what they're going to do about contingency. You can count on News 3 to bring you the latest on this developing story. For now, for News 3 in the newsroom, I'm Megan Sanchez.
Now, less than 2 weeks away from Election Day, and McDonough County is checking over ballots both on paper and the computer screen. Touchscreen ballots were designed to allow easier access for the impaired to vote, but anyone has the option to use them. I spoke with McDonough County Clerk Gretchen DeJanes on how the touchscreens work.
Show them how it works. Typically, they love it. One of the big advantages is it has large print. It has a color contrast, so if you have any visual problem, or we'll have people that come in and say, I forgot my glasses, large print. I mean, it is large print. It is very easy to read.
Each polling place only has one touchscreen, and if voters want to wait to use the touchscreen, they can. But of course, the option of the written ballot is always there. DeJanes wants to remind people not only to check the box, but to fill it in as heavy and dark as possible.
We will get people that will put a check mark, maybe just catch the corner of the circle. When we do a retab, sometimes those ballots are counted and sometimes they're not. You are two color in the circle. It is your best bet to make sure your ballot is cast correctly.
Now, if you plan on voting early at the courthouse, you will have to use the touchscreen ballot to cast your vote. The written ballot is only used at the polling places on Election Day. I also asked Gretchen the possibility of running out of ballots on Election Day. What is your concern with this election being so crazy and different from other elections?
We certainly will not run out of ballots in the polling place. There's no way we'll run out of ballots in the polling place. We know how many people are registered to vote in those polling places, and I guarantee you we have enough ballots.
McDonough County employees will be at the University Union Tuesday through Friday from 10 until 5 p.m. for students and faculty to register to vote. DeJanes recommends voting early because it's unpredictable how long the lines will be on Election Day.
Early voting is already underway in McDonough County. You can vote at the county courthouse up to Election Day or vote at your election precinct on November 8th. Early voting at the McDonough County Courthouse is taking place between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. On the Saturdays leading up to Election Day, voters can cast ballots between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. If you need to vote downtown on Election Day, you can visit the courthouse between 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. Now, we're less than 5 days away from the night that the ghouls and goblins come out. And residents of Macomb have several choices this year for a safe Halloween. WIU is offering its annual Residence Hall's Safe Trick or Treat. Children between the ages of 2 and 12 are invited to trick or treat or play haunted Halloween games. Safe Trick or Treat takes place on October 30th. Residence halls participating are Bayless Henninger, Tanner, Corbin Olson, Thompson, Lincoln Washington, and Grody.
Now, WIU is also continuing their Halloween scaring with a haunted house. This scaring is suitable for younger children on October 30th in Thompson Hall. For those wanting more of a scare, there's a scarier haunted hall for adults and teens will be held Friday and Saturday.
The city of Macomb is also hosting their traditional trick-or-treating. That will be on Sunday and Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. The mayor's office says if you want to hand out treats, be sure to leave a porch light on.
That is right. That's NEWS3's Brianna Descaray, and boy, was she a screamer. One family loved Halloween so much they transformed their garage into a haunted house. Sarah and Brad Payne live in Good Hope. With the help of their family and friends, they put on a homemade haunted house. The Paynes started decorating before July. That's just crazy. You have one more weekend to get spooked by the House of Payne, and that will be open this Saturday, Sunday, and Monday from 6 until 9 p.m. Admission is free, but the Paynes ask for a donation to the Loaves and Fishes, either by cash or bringing them a non-perishable item. And you can join us tomorrow morning at 9 for our award-winning show, Good Morning Macomb, as we sit down with Brad and Sarah about how they transformed their garage into an area attraction for Halloween. And still to come, NEWS3 crew travels to Springfield to get an inside look at how the FBI is trained. They'll tell you what they learned about a deadly force and more.
And Jason Chauvin has a preview in sports. Jason?
Thanks, Danny. With the season finally starting to change, that means we get to focus on indoor sports now. As the Macomb High girls swim team was in action on Tuesday, stick around to find out if they were able to come away with a victory as they hosted Galesburg High School at the MHS pool. And JT Greider has a quick look at the weather. JT?
Thanks, Jason. Taking a look at our Macomb webcam, we had those clouds early on today, but they've slowly moved their way up. I'll let you know when we can exactly see that clear sky ahead.
In high definition. Live at 4 is back in a moment.
I think just working with everybody in the newsroom, everybody has such a great camaraderie. All the opportunities that I've been given here have just been amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
Struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Garrett Covington chose Western Illinois University because of the law enforcement program and the chance to be a Leatherneck.
Western has one of the best law enforcement programs in the nation, and I get to play the game I love. Whether I go pro or I go to law school, because of Western, I would take my success to another level. I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
News 3 just started a new segment called News 3 Tries. Typically, we go out into the community to try out things available around town.
But this one is a little bit different. News 3's Brianna Descaray and JT Grider drove 88 miles southeast of Macomb to try something completely new.
Thank you, Emily and Danny. JT and I drove all the way to the FBI field office in Springfield.
There they train their agents and police officers how and when to use deadly force by using a virtual simulation.
After recent police shootings, the FBI opened their simulation up to the media to show the public what goes into the decision to use deadly force.
The FBI takes real-life situations and recreates them frame by frame based off dash cam footage.
They let JT and I partake in a few simulations where we took the role of an agent responding to the scene.
Sir, put your hands up. What? Put your hands up. Sir, put your hands up. I almost died for you. Now you're gonna, Sir, put your hands up right now. Put your hands up. Sir, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Shoot me. Sir, put your hands up. Put your hands. Step away from the car. Step away from the car. I'm gonna shoot you. Step away from the car. Step away from the car. What's going on?
He kept telling me to shoot him. He kept saying different things.
Like what?
Just saying, you know, you had no right to stop me, you know, shoot me. He was being very aggressive from
Did he threaten you?
I don't remember.
He said he was going to shoot you.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. Yeah.
He said he was going to shoot you. I think he said it at least twice,
yes.
maybe 3 times.
He didn't lunge towards his car yet. He faked the lunging towards me, and at that point that was intent, but I held my ground until I saw him reach for something, and that's when I took action.
Sir, I'm going to need you to calm down. Sir, put down the brick. Put it down.
Okay, you're clear. What happened, Jeremy?
So immediately I was confronted by agitation by the man. I asked him to calm down, and he immediately turned around and went for the brick. At that point, I had my weapon drawn. I was ready to start to be ready for whatever came at me. And then he picked up the brick, started coming towards me, asked him to put it down. He did not, and then he started charging me with it, and that's whenever I started firing.
So anything to indicate his intent to cause serious physical harm or death other than charging you with a brick?
The intent was noticeable whenever he started the verbal agitation, I could tell.
What did he say?
That I do not know.
I'm gonna bash your brain in. Bash your brains in!
The simulation I did was actually based on a true story. We're told the agent already had an accusation against him saying he improperly used deadly force. Because of this, he hesitated to shoot and died.
Tune in tomorrow morning for Good Morning Macomb, where we will have more on that experience.
Thank you, Bree and JT. Cloudy skies and cooler temperatures, but at least the rain is out of the forecast.
Storm Team 3's JT Grader will be back with a look at your weekend forecast next.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
I think what I love most about NEWS3 is that we're really provided with a real-world experience. We're able to get hands-on work in news, and it's very similar to what you would find in a real newsroom, but everyone around here is really good about pushing you to be your best. NEWS3 has really taught me to believe in myself and that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want. News can sometimes be really tricky, and you have a lot of roadblocks. All of us hold each other to really high standards, and I think that really shows in our newscasts.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Live at 4. Currently here in Macomb, we have a temperature of 55 degrees, and that humidity is at 66% as the clouds have stayed in place for a majority of the day. The winds are still out of the west at 5 miles an hour. Looking at our current regional map, we have 47 in Burlington, 58 in Keokuk, and 58 in Quincy. That's because of those clouds that have been in place for a majority of the day. They're just now starting to part ways to the west and the south of us, so we're going to start warming up throughout the rest of the hours, but not too much. Our almanac page for today shows our range was 55 and 47. Our range is so small because of those clouds that were in place. It didn't allow very much heating, didn't allow the sun to come out and warm up our air. Our average is 61 and 38. So we're a little below average for this time of year. Now, looking at our surface map, we see that high pressure that has gone stationary, and that's really bringing in all of these clouds, and it's also starting to push them away. So these clouds are going to push off to the east into tonight as that warm front and that cold front start to really push down to the south. But if you look off over here in New York, they're already getting snow for this time of year. It's a little early. We're not expecting any of that snow, but I just thought I'd mention that we are having some snow come across continental U.S., and it is making land. It is touching the ground in cities, not just in the mountains. Our Midwest weather tracker shows not a whole lot. A few stray showers off to our far east, but nothing in our area. And that's really because of that high pressure and those clouds are staying in place, so we're not going to see too much out of that. Going into tonight, we have a mostly clear sky as those clouds start to push off to the east. Our low will only be down to 44 because those clouds are going to kind of stay in place, keeping our temperatures down, but whenever they finally do move out, it's going to allow that heat that we did get today to rise up and get out of here. For tomorrow, we have a partly cloudy sky with a high of 75 degrees. Because those clouds are going to be out of here, that sun, whenever they do come out, is really going to heat up the air. Our winds will be out of the south at 15 to 20. As that high pressure is moving through, it's going to switch our winds. Now, for your 5-day forecast here at the Storm Team 3, we have partly cloudy skies for every day that I have on this 5-day forecast, even for that Halloween forecast. But if you look, there is an 80-degree temperature in there. It snuck in on Saturday, so it's going to feel a little warm. But then we do have that Monday whenever you go trick-or-treating, and on Sunday we're going to have some nice temperatures.
Okay, so I will take all of that. I didn't see any rain in that forecast.
There's none.
Crossing the fingers there, and crossing the fingers for the Leathernecks coming up this week, right, Jason?
The game doesn't get much bigger for the Leathernecks this weekend, but first, the WIU women's basketball team returns to Western Hall as they played host to William Jewell in their first exhibition game of the year at Western Hall. Find out if they were able to start the season on a high note. And the WIU football team travels to the University of South Dakota to take on the Coyotes. Find out if there is any extra motivation this week as the Leathernecks face former head coach Bob Nielsen. All that coming up next on Live at 4.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors and to follow the swimming rules. You tell me to stay away from drugs. To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
My favorite thing about NEWS3 is you're constantly working with someone. If you're not going to work with someone, then your show's not going to go right. NEWS3 has really got me ready and prepared for the outside world. Traveling to do a tornado story, or if that even means traveling to Iowa to cover third graders, I get to work with some fantastic people. It wouldn't be the show that it was today without the production crew, without our anchors, without our talent. It's really a team effort, and I'm beyond blessed to be able to be here.
Welcome back to Live at 4. The Macomb High girls swim team returned home to host their first home meet in almost a month. The Lady Bombers played host to Galesburg High School on Tuesday. Coach Anthony Blom prepping his girls before the home meet. Once again, Marin McElvain-Newsad in the 50-yard freestyle sets the tone early in the heat, staging her win as she goes on to beat Haley Glasinovich in a tight race. Then in the 100-yard butterfly, Megan Jackson, she comes up neck and neck with Galesburg's Kyra McGill off the first wall. But in the end, Jackson pulls ahead in this one, beating out McGill. She gives the Bombers the point, and she gives the Bombers the advantage. As the Bombers are trying to separate themselves in this one, Maya Baidgare takes the lead and continues it all the way to the finish in the 100-yard freestyle. Now, the Bombers in this next race have to work together here as it's a relay. The Lady Bombers are testing the silver streaks in the 200-yard freestyle. One after another, they go to have all four of the Bomber girls beat out Galesburg with a sizable lead in this long 200-yard race. The Bombers taking the point in this one. The Bombers are trying to stay alive in this to finish off in the pool. Tell me if you've heard this one before. McElvain-Newsad grabs the win and dominates in first place in this race, and she's followed by Macomb High's Allison Jackson as she gets second place in the 100-yard backstroke. But that would not be enough for the Bombers as they would fall in this one. Although the Bombers tried to close the gaps against the Galesburg, they still came up short with the final score, Galesburg Silver Streaks 103 and Macomb High 65. Shifting over to the basketball court now, the WIU women's basketball team took the court in preseason action against William Jewell on Tuesday. The early preseason test scheduled to see where the team is at after practice and heading into the season. Men's basketball head coach Billy Wright was in the house to watch. Towards the end of the first quarter, Jasmine Patrick misses the putback, but Morgan Bloomer says thank you very much, swipes it, and lays it in herself. WIU up 19-16 after one. The Cardinals starting to heat up, though. Hayden Butler for three from the corner, beating the Leathernecks at their own game from the perimeter. Leatherneck head coach J.D. Gravina trying to draw something up here as Taylor Hanneman, formerly McClintock, with the runner. She finished the game with 11 points in 18 minutes. 2:35 in the second quarter, Anne-Marie Bowe knocks down another tray for William Jewell to put the Cardinals up 32-27 late in the half. Now Taylor Higginbotham sends a pass from the corner over to Emily Clemens. She drills the three from the top of the key. She finished the night with 15 points. Waning seconds of the first half now, Clemens this time dishes it to Hanneman, who drills the triple at the buzzer. WIU trails 36-35 going into half. The Leathernecks were unable to finish the exhibition game with a victory. They fall victim to William Jewell 69-66. Emily Clemens led the way for the Leathernecks with 15 points. Another exhibition game is scheduled for Wednesday, November 2nd at 7 p.m. against another William Penn. Staying with WIU now, the Leatherneck football team will hit the road to take on the University of South Dakota Coyotes, who are coached by former Leatherneck head coach Bob Nielsen. WIU head coach Charlie Fisher talks about the team's motivation heading into the game.
Well, for me, the vibe is, whatever motivates you, that's fine. That's okay. But, we got deep respect for what South Dakota's doing. They're winning close games. They're a lot like us in many ways. They're playing hard and finding ways to win games. And at the end of the day, it's two teams against each other that are trying to win a football game. There's emotion in every game for different reasons.
The Leathernecks take on the Coyotes this Saturday in Vermilion, South Dakota, and kickoff is set for 2 p.m. That's it for sports. Buckle up for high school football playoffs this weekend. Final word is next.
You taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
And loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Now, if you're driving down Carroll Street over the next few days, you're in for a real treat. That's because Cheryl Bailey has her house decorated out for Halloween. The sad thing is Cheryl doesn't get many trick-or-treaters on Halloween. Well, I'm sure as heck gonna show up at her house. So if you're looking somewhere to get candy, she's looking for all sorts of visitors.
It makes no sense to me at all. No sense why
I'm
she's
all
not
for the
there.
candy.
Exactly.
But that's all for us today. You can join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for our award-winning show, Good Morning Macomb.
We're also online all the time, so stay up to date with us. News3WIU.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just search our handle, News3WIU. Thank you for joining us this evening.
And from all of us here at News 3, have a good evening, Macomb.